If there is anything that links the human to the divine, it is the courage to stand by a principle when everybody else rejects it. We are not enemies, but friends. We must not be enemies. Though passion may have strained, it must not break our bonds of affection. The mystic chords of memory will swell when again touched, as surely they will be, by the better angels of our nature. Always bear in mind that your own resolution to succeed is more important than any one thing. Character is like a tree and reputation its shadow. The shadow is what we think it is and the tree is the real thing. I have been driven many times upon my knees by the overwhelming conviction that I had nowhere else to go. My own wisdom and that of all about me seemed insufficient for that day. You can fool some of the people all of the time, and all of the people some of the time, but you cannot fool all of the people all of the time. I am not bound to win, but I am bound to be true. I am not bound to succeed, but I am bound to live up to what light I have. I can see how it might be possible for a man to look down upon the earth and be an atheist, but I cannot conceive how a man could look up into the heavens and say there is no God. Whenever I hear anyone arguing for slavery, I feel a strong impulse to see it tried on him personally. Elections belong to the people. It's their decision. If they decide to turn their back on the fire and burn their behinds, then they will just have to sit on their blisters. My father taught me to work, but not to love it. I never did like to work, and I don't deny it. I'd rather read, tell stories, crack jokes, talk, laugh, anything but work. If you once forfeit the confidence of your fellow citizens, you can never regain their respect and esteem. It is true that you may fool all of the people some of the time, you can even fool some of the people all of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time. Speech at Clinton, Illinois, September 8, 1854. I am in favor of animal rights as well as human rights. That is the way of a whole human being. I do not think much of a man who is not wiser today than he was yesterday. The Lord prefers common-looking people. That is why He made so many of them. You cannot help people permanently by doing for them what they could and should do for themselves. I am a firm believer in the people. If given the truth, they can be depended upon to meet any national crisis. The great point is to bring them the real facts, and bear. It is difficult to make a man miserable while he feels worthy of himself and claims kindred to the great God who made him. A house divided against itself cannot stand. I believe this government cannot endure, permanently half slave and half free. I do not expect the Union to be dissolved, I do not expect the house to fall, but I do expect it will cease to be divided. It will become all one thing. When I get ready to talk to people, I spend 2/3 of the time thinking what they want to hear and 1/3 thinking about what I want to say.